Hello, in this tutorial we're going to show how to use Google's WHAT-IF tool to compare the performance of two different machine learning models. We're going to use this compare income classification on UCI census data, and once we open that we need to run some code first. So we're essentially pulling in a training data set, and then we're going to define some helper functions and basically just run all of this code that's been provided. We can take a look at our data and see that it's some pretty standard census data. And then we're going to build some machine learning models to make some predictions, create and train a linear classifier and a DNN classifier. And then once we have our machine learning models, the important part of this tutorial is invoking the WHAT-IF tool. So in order to do that, we're using Google Colab, so we can import these libraries and then set up our tool with our test examples and our trained classifier. So once this is finished running, we will go ahead and run the code to build the tool. Okay, so all the code has been run, and now we have this tool in line. So I find it easier to view this tool in full screen. To do that, I'm going to come over here and click Mirror Cell and Tab. Oops. Not what I wanted. Sorry, I'm actually going to come over here to these ellipses and then view output full screen. There we go. Okay, so we're currently in the data point editor. This allows us to look at the data points from each data point individually. We can also do some binning. So if we bin them by inference score for the two models, we get this nice grid that shows us how the different data points compare for each model. We can also come up to the Performance and Fairness tab, and we are looking at over 50K as our ground truth feature. So this is what we were trying to predict. So if we set that, now we can see the overall performance for each of our our models. We also get the ROC curves and our confusion matrices. And we can also change our optimization strategy. So we can, right now it's just set to 50-50, but we can change it to single threshold and it will actually optimize these for us. So we can see the ROC curves and the confusion matrices improved a little bit. And over here we have our false positives, false negatives, our accuracy score, and our F1 score. So you can see that the models are pretty similar in terms of accuracy, but differ in their rate of false positives and false negatives. So you would have to choose which is more important to you in the context of your model. We can also do some slicers. So we could slice by, let's say, we'll keep it simple and slice by sex. So now we've split into male and female, so we could compare performance across these two groups and across the models. So you can see the model 1 performs better for males, but model 2 performs better for females. We can also adjust the thresholds for each group, so it can optimize by each group. Finally, one other thing when getting started to explore is the Features tab. In this tab we can look at each of our variables, and it'll provide the histograms and then some basic descriptive statistics, standard deviation, min, median, max. You can also dig into these graphs and have it for the categorical features show you the raw data. So it'll actually give you the counts. So for education, if you wanted to see, how many values were high school versus doctorate, you could just come in here and look really quickly. So that's a basic introduction to Google's What If tool. There's a lot of other features in here worth exploring, but this is a great way to assess your model performance without having to do a lot of coding, and for being able to change different variables or look at your data in different ways very quickly and get instant results for your analysis.